He's still asleep, I believe. I hope so, anyway. When he's awake, he's more trouble than a pack of children.
Oh, I don't want to disturb him. I could come back.
Yes, that would be best. I've got my sister ill downstairs and the sergeant up here. And what with the two of them, I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
It's very good of you to step in and help. Very good. How is the sergeant?
Like all men. They get a cold and think they're dying. Still, he's not well. Not really well. The cold's gone to his chest.
Bolton!
Oh, he's awake. I'd better go to him.
Bolton!
Come through, Mr. Marriott. You may cheer him up.
Miss Bolton!
What's wrong now?
Oh, there you are. Look, water. Look, my throat is parched. The water jug's completely empty. Oh, wait. Don't fuss, woman.
Please don't call me woman, Mr. Cork. I have a name.
Look, will you get me some water before I die of thirst?
I don't think that's very likely. You're as strong as a horse. Just got an extremely bad cold.
No, I've got worse than a cold. Miss Bolton, I've got worse than that. Look, I've got a fever. Look, just feel my forehead.
Yes? Yes, you are hot. But that's nothing to worry about.
I know.
Just means the cold's coming out, that's all.
But, look, I am worried.
Oh, I've never known such a baby. I've got my sister downstairs. She's very poorly, but she doesn't complain and carry on. Mr. Marriott came to see you and I was just...
Marriott?
Yes, he's come to see you.
Oh.
I'll get the water.
Oh, thank you.
How are you, son?
Oh, no. Well, I'm fighting. In fact, that's why I'm lying here flat on my back. Has she gone?
Yes.
Just my luck to be struck down. Mrs. Feeling to follow suit. We're stuck with that woman.
Well, she seems very
she's hard, lad. She's hard. No, simply thinks I'm faking. I told her about my temperature. I said I got a fever.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
What?
You got a fire halfway up the chimney, a mountain of blankets, every window shut tight. It's like an oven in here. No wonder you're hot. I'm hot.
Yes, I knew I could expect a few words of comfort from you. Well, how are affairs at the office? A mess, I suppose?
No, running very smoothly, as a matter of fact.
I suppose things are very quiet, are they?
Quiet? The builders are making such a devil of a racket with the alterations downstairs, I can hardly hear myself think sometimes.
Well, that's no deprivation, I'm sure, is it?
Thank you. At the moment, we're up to our next this Salvation Army business, you know.
The what? What's that?
Well, I don't want to bother you with it. We've got it all right.
No. What about that?
Well, it happened in Streatham, you see, the Salvation Army Home for Girls. The woman in charge, a Major Evelyn Proctor, was attacked and seriously injured in a study, and two of the inmates, two of the girls, have disappeared.
Have you caught them?
It only happened last night. Sergeant Jones is up there now making inquiries. I'm supposed to join him there, as a matter of fact. I only called in to see you for a moment.
Well, I suppose the superintendent wants to know if I'm coming back to work soon, does he?
No, he told me to tell you not to rush things. We got everything in hand. He said you were to make quite sure you were perfectly fit before you even saw
Oh, well, give the superintendent my kind regards. Will you?
Excuse me if I...
Oh, yes, don't let me stop the work of the police force.
Well, I'll come back and see you again tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot. I brought you these.
Grapes?
Apples.
Oh, apples.
I know you like apples.
Yes, sir. Well, I can't eat apples. They get stuck in my throat, you know, but still you meant very well, dear lad. Grapes, though. No, I can eat grapes because they slide down, but these stick in my throat. Still, I'll get rid of them, I suppose.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, well, if you dig up any facts of that Salvation Army case, I mean, if you want to talk about it, you want any help at all.
Just rest. You rest. We've got everything in hand.
No, what?
You just rest, Sergeant.
No, well... Bolton!
And you know as well as I do, Lord, that the Salvation Army has many enemies, and there are those who will seek to use what happened last night as an excuse to attack this home and the work of thy servants. We shall smite these Philistines hip and thigh, Lord, and strive to continue and extend our endeavours. But we are getting rather short of funds, Lord, and we are anxious to start work on the new extension. Now, if you could open the eyes of a few rich people to the importance of this home, come in, so that they in turn open their purses, we shall be grateful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. I shan't keep you a moment. The detectives have arrived now, Lord. We pray that you will bless their investigations so that the missing girls may be returned to us, and that Major Proctor will recover. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Amen. Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
Marriott.
Morning.
We were just speaking to the Lord, talking over some of our problems. Do you pray, Sergeant?
Oh, yes, sometimes. At night.
I've never been able to understand that. I mean, why people only pray at night. The Lord's on duty 24 hours of the day. You can speak to him at any time, you know. I do. You're not a Salvationist.
No, ma'am, I'm a Welsh Baptist.
Ah. And you?
No.
Oh, we must talk together sometime. You're the kind of strapping young fellow that the army needs. You see, we need soldiers. Christian soldiers. Yes, we must have a talk together. Now, what have you discovered, Sergeant?
Well, not very much, I'm afraid, so far, ma'am.
No, not Ma'am. Major, if you please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd just like to go over the facts we've collected so far, ma'am. Major.
Well, then you must ask Captain Childers. I was not here, as you know. I've been sent from Divisional HQ to stand in until Major Proctor is well enough to return.
Right, Marriott.
Well, the porter's gate was found open at about 8:15 by a passing constable. He came to the front door to report this, but had some difficulty in making himself heard. Your band was playing out in the street.
Ah, yes, the band. Difficult to hear anything over there.
Yes. When he was admitted, he spoke to you, Captain Childers.
Yes, that is correct. I was called from our service. The constable and I came here and found Major Proctor. It was horrible.
Now, Ruth, it won't help anyone if we break down. Remember, you are a soldier in the battle line.
I'm sorry. The constable called for assistance, and I did what I could for Major Proctor.
Did she say anything to you?
No, she was barely conscious.
Now, those French windows are wide open, I believe.
Yes.
And a drawer was open?
Yes. The Major always keeps a small sum of money available for emergencies. It's kept in a cash box in...
Be in there.
I don't know, perhaps £5.
2 girls are missing.
Yes, Josephine Webb and Violet Berry.
Well, they must have. I mean, they must have attacked Major Proctor, taken her keys.
Keys?
Yes, Major Proctor's keys are missing also. The girls must have taken them to open the gate.
Why should the girls choose last night to make an escape?
Well, they had the opportunity, you see. As I understand it, they were told to report to Major Proctor at 8 o'clock last night.
Why?
Well, they'd been fighting. They had to be separated. The Major told them to report to her at 8 o'clock.
So the 2 girls were here at 8 o'clock last night, at the time the crime was committed.
Well, they were waiting outside this room. I saw them myself as I passed. I had to rebuke them for giggling and talking.
So they were outside this door at 8 o'clock. At 8:15, the side gate was found open and they'd gone. Now, during those 15 minutes, Major Proctor was attacked and robbed.
Yes, seems obvious who is responsible, doesn't it?
You have files and records of these 2 girls so that we can go over them.
Yes, I have them in my office. I'll get them.
One moment, Captain. You do recognize this?
Yes. It always stood on Major Proctor's desk.
You think that was the instrument?
I would
that was
say
used?
so, Major. If the girls were responsible, it seems unlikely they came prepared. No, I should think an argument took place and one of them seized this candlestick.
Oh, dreadful thing.
Were the 2 girls on good terms with Major Proctor?
No, not really. She tried very hard, but they were intractable, insolent, especially Josephine, and she influenced the other girl, Violet.
I see. So the 2 girls had obviously fallen out with each other. You said they'd been caught fighting.
Yes, that was rather strange. They were normally so close.
Major Proctor intended to punish them?
Yes.
What form would this punishment take?
Well, a certain loss of privileges. In more severe cases...
Well, this was a severe case.
Yes.
What would happen?
Or perhaps a short period on bread and water.
I see.
I'd like you to remember that the devil has a very strong hold on some of these girls. And sometimes the devil must be paid in his own coin. We are all troubled about this question of physical punishment, but we must maintain some degree of discipline. I assure you that we act as sparingly as possible.
Of course, I'm sure of it. Well, I don't think there are any more questions, Major. If we could have the files on the 2 girls.
And it might be useful to speak to the porter, Sergeant. You remember you suggested as much.
Oh, yes. Now, what was his name? Gill. Henry Gill.
I don't think he'd be able to help you.
Well, we don't know that until we've spoken to him, do we, Captain?
Perhaps you'd better bring Gill along, Ruth. Let's do the thing thoroughly.
I don't think he's here.
Not here.
Well, he'd have nothing to do with a terrible crime like this. It's unfair that he should be hounded.
Captain Childers, stop this nonsense. No one's hounding the man. These officers merely want to question him. Now, where is he?
I don't know.
Is he in his room?
I think he's gone.
Gone?
Well, I sent Wiltshire, the second porter, to look for him this morning. The room was empty. The bed had not been slept in.
When did you last see him?
Just before our service last night.
Just before the attack on Major Proctor.
But he'd have nothing to do with it.
How can you be so sure? The man's run away?
I know him. Oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry, Sergeant.
All these things happen.
Has this room been cleaned since last night?
Why? What have you found?
It looks like some beads, amber beads. Part of a broken necklace, perhaps?
Well, they could have nothing to do with anybody here, Mr. Marriott. We don't approve of such trifles.
One of the girls, no doubt.
Oh, no, we don't allow them to wear anything of the sort either.
I see.
Would you excuse me a moment?
Yes, of course.
Women. I hate cases where there's a lot of females involved.
Really? Every man to his own point of view, I suppose.
Major. I don't hold with women being majors and captains. Well, I've had enough of it here. I'm going off to the hospital. You can question the girls. Believe me, where there's females involved, it's never straightforward.
Thank you.
Ellen rose and went to the window. She could not understand the strange passion that seemed to be coursing like wine through her veins, and she felt helpless to fight against it. The stranger would be waiting in the copse just outside the village. Should she go to him? Should she go out there into the dark night to meet a man whose name she did not even know, whose motive she could only dimly conjecture?
What's that mean? That last bit? It means she didn't know what he was after. She must have been simple-minded, eh?
Oh, do you want me to go on?
Yeah, go on. I bet she goes. Blimey, I would if I was in her shoes. I ain't set eyes on a decent-looking bloke for months. Stone the crows, that was quick.
Stand up, girls.
Morning, Major Robert.
Morning, girls. Now, what are you doing in here?
Well, we're told to finish off polishing the instruments, Major. And while we've been doing it, we've been singing like. Very quiet. We didn't like to sing too loud.
Oh, nonsense, Barbara. Next time, raise the roof. I shan't mind, I assure you. Now, girls, this is Mr. Marriott.
How do you do?
Hello.
He's a detective from Scotland Yard. He wishes to ask you a few questions. Now, if I can leave you to it, Mr. Marriott, just for a few moments, I have some things to see to in the kitchen.
Well, yes, but... All right, ladies. Well, I just want to see if you can help me.
Oh, I wouldn't mind trying.
Good. Now then, would you answer a few questions for me?
Are you really a peeler?
Yes.
A bit young for it, aren't you?
I'm very mature for my age. Now, what can you tell me about Violet Berry and Josephine Webb?
Vi and Joe? What about them?
Well, anything.
We got nothing to tell you.
Do you think they did it? Do you think they attacked Major Proctor?
Nah, never in a million years. What for?
Well, to escape from this place, perhaps.
Oh, don't wet, mister. We could get out of here any time we wanted to.
You could?
Yeah, it just means using your head. But who wants to in this weather? I mean, if it was summer, it'd be different.
Even then it wouldn't be worth it. You lot would catch us and we wouldn't be brought back here. They'd send us to jug, proper jug. And I'd rather do my time in here.
It's not much, Cock, but it's better than prison. I mean, so long as you bawl out the singing and say your prayers every night, it's not so bad.
So, Josephine and Violet could have got out at any time.
If they wanted
but
to,
they
I
didn't
thought.
until last night. Now, why?
Maybe they just took a fit into their head.
Now, I heard they'd been fighting, yet they ran away together. Now, what was this fighting about?
Well, it were a bit odd, really. I didn't hear it all. Vi was going on saying she wasn't going to be anyone's tart.
Tart?
You know what that is, don't you?
Yes.
Well, Joe said she shouldn't be so silly and she should grab what was going. I didn't hear no more.
Did you hear any more?
I did. It ended up in a real barney. Joe went for Vi like a wildcat.
The first time I've ever known them to fall out. They were thick as thieves, always talking and whispering together. Mind you, Jo was the boss. She liked to boss everyone. But I didn't seem to mind.
Where do you reckon they'd go?
Well, if the worst came to the worst, they could always go. Shut up. I was going to tell him nothing.
Of course, you don't know nothing. We know naught, mister, naught that'll help you.
All right. Give me. I won't press you.
Oh, don't say that.
Silly. Now, what were they in here for?
Why don't you find out?
Well, I could check the files, but I thought it might save time if you tell me.
Well, Vi was in for knocking off some clothes off a second-hand store.
And the other girl, Jo?
She was in... Oh!
All right, I wasn't going to keep it.
So Jo was a pickpocket, huh?
One of the best tips in the business. Had a good teacher. What's more, she got Vi at it, showed her all the tricks.
I got as good as Joe, she were always practicing.
Well, thank you, ladies. That'll be all for now.
Oh, don't go!
Steve, tell us a story of your life. Here, come on, we never get to
Well, I'll come back some other
Please.
time. There was one thing.
Yes.
Have you seen these before?
Beads? Chance would be a fine thing.
If we so much as curled our hair here, they call it vanity.
Well, did Josephine or Violet have a necklace made of these beads?
Joe had some stuff, but She never wore it where it would show.
Any case, you wouldn't have amber beads.
Thanks. Well, I hope to see you again sometime.
Not a bad-looking fella. He was handsome.
Drove out a dark stranger.
Look out, Major. Praise the heavens. Come on, quick, right. 1, 2, 3. Praise with our voices, praise him to the sky. Praise with our voices, he who rules on high.
The detective has gone, has he?
Yes, Major, went a minute ago.
Oh, very good. Now, have any of you girls seen Captain Childers?
No, Major. I haven't seen her since breakfast.
Oh, well, if you do see her, tell her I want her, will you? I shall be in my office. Now, carry on with the singing. Don't be afraid of it. Let them hear you in Brixton, if you like. Now, 1, 2.
Praise with hearts and voices, praise him to the sky. Praise with hearts and voices, he who lives on high. Let his message echo right to heaven's door. Praise with hearts and voices, now and evermore. Praise with hearts and voices, praise him to the sky. Praise with hearts and voices, he who rules on high. Let his message echo right to heaven's door. Praise with hearts and voices, now and evermore. Shout out of salvation, let all your voices ring, singing adoration, honor to our King. For with his banner and his days of yore, praise with hearts and voices, now and evermore. Praise with hearts and Bruce.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Can you tell me who lives here?
Who wants to know?
Police.
Oh, well then, if you're a copper, you can find out for yourself, can't you?
What do you want?
I want to speak to Captain Childers
I've never heard of
of the Salvation Army.
She's not here,
Look, I know she's in here. I'm a police officer.
Mr. Marriott,
Captain Childers, you promised me certain files and information.
they're in my office. Major Washburn can give them to you.
Why did you leave so suddenly?
I had an important visit to make.
And this is it?
Yes?
Would you mind if I came in?
I would rather you did not.
Why?
I have my reasons.
Henry Gill, is he one of them? You gave yourself away earlier, I'm afraid. You jumped to his defense rather too quickly.
It would be better for Henry if he gave himself up. If he came to you openly and willingly and explained why he left the home. Is that not so?
Yes, it would stand in his favor.
Then I promise you he'll come to you of his own free will.
How can I be sure?
I give you my word. I swear on God's book.
That's not necessary. He is here, isn't he?
No, please.
All right. I shall expect Henry Gill in an hour or so. If he doesn't come...
Oh, he will. He'll listen to me. He'll listen to God. We shall pray together.
Thank you, Captain.
Ah, lunch. Thank you, Miss Bolden. What's this?
Some egg custard and some nice beef tea.
Oh, slop.
You said your throat was sore.
No, it's much better now, Miss Bolton.
Well, let me see your tongue.
No, there's no
Show
necessity.
me your tongue. Oh, no, you're not getting better as fast as you should. In my opinion, the doctor isn't giving you the right medicine.
No.
Now, let me see your throat. Say ah.
Ah.
Oh, no, it's still very inflamed.
Ah.
Patient behaving.
Oh, no. You look... Can't anyone be left in peace here?
I don't think you could do anything peacefully. See that he finishes that beef tea. Every drop. It's full of nourishment.
I shall insist, Miss Belton. Ta-dum!
Ah, grapes. Now, that's a proper tribute to fetch to a sick man.
After the beef tea.
The beef tea?
It smells delicious.
Well, look, Marriott, you have it.
Come along now. There's a good boy. Down
Marriott.
Little Red Lane, then you can have your grapes.
If I could only get out of this bed to you, what are you doing here pestering me? Have you no work to do? Have you solved all your cases?
Sergeant, if you were a pickpocket, a young one, a good one, and you were on the run, where would you go?
You still looking for those two girls?
Yes, I've discovered they're expert fingersmiths. Now, who'd be likely to take in a couple of pickpockets?
Oh, you want to pick my brain, eh?
Oh, I'd like to help.
Pass me the grapes. Pass me the grapes. Thank you.
No, mind your trunk.
Oh, it's delicious.
Son?
What? Oh, look, please. Oh, don't feed me with riddles, lad. Give me some of the facts. I might be able to help. How is Major Proctor?
Oh, Sergeant Jones is down there now at the hospital. She was still unconscious this morning. They're rather anxious about her condition.
Any suspects?
Well, the two girls who absconded, Violet Berry and Josephine Webb, and Henry Gill, a porter. He's disappeared, too. Though I think I know where I can lay my hands on him.
Oh, why don't you?
Well, I think he'll give himself up. You see, I've had a promise to that effect.
Where from?
Well, Captain Childers at the home. I think there's something between those two. Don't know what it is yet, but...
You believe her?
Well, yeah.
Don't be so apologetic about it. You must trust your own judgment. So, 3 suspects, eh?
Yes.
Anything missing?
Well, some money, about £5, and the Major's keys. Now, whoever did it used the keys to open the side gate and escape.
Well, how do you know?
It's a bit obvious.
What is it? I mean, don't jump to conclusions. If you come to that theory, I mean, you eliminate Henry Gill, don't you?
Why?
You told me he was the porter. He'd have the keys of his own, wouldn't he?
Of course. Well, why should he run away?
Perhaps when he saw the Major injured, he got frightened.
Yes, that could be it. The girls went in to see Major Proctor. An argument developed. They knocked her unconscious, stole her money and her keys, and then ran out through the French windows. Now, Gill comes in, sees the Major lying there. He's frightened that he might be suspected, and he runs off. No, that won't fit, will it?
Have a grape, lad. It stimulates the action of the brain.
Sure. Why should Gill think he might be suspected?
Perhaps he had guilt.
Isn't it? Still, if Major Proctor recovers, she'll be able to tell us who attacked
I
her.
shouldn't rely on that. After all, she said she was serious. Have you been over the ground?
Ground?
When the scene of the crime, any clues?
Yeah. These beads I found, I don't know if they mean anything.
Who do they belong to, huh?
Well, I think probably one of the girls.
Would they be allowed to wear trinkets?
Well, Major Washburn said not, but the girls told me Josephine had a few bits and pieces.
Well, off you go, lad. Get on with the case.
But you haven't told me anything.
You've got plenty of leads. After all, there's you and Sergeant Jones. You could do that between you. Otherwise, ask Inspector Bird.
You know, sometimes, Sergeant...
Look, you're talking to superior officer. You did fetch me some grapes, didn't you? Look, I should concentrate the beads if I were you. Now, the Salvation Army lasses wouldn't wear them. The girls wouldn't wear them in the open. So what does that suggest to you?
Someone else was wearing them.
A capital deduction, lad. You have a 4th suspect.
But nobody mentioned a visitor.
Perhaps no one saw a visitor. After all, except our old friend Henry Gill. He was a porter. He would let a visitor in. If I were you, I should question Henry Gill.
4th suspect?
Yes, you'd be very pleased. Makes it more interesting. A mysterious visitor with amber beads. I wish I could join the hunt. Off you go, lad. Off you go.
Thank you. I don't suppose you could tell me where I might find the 2 girls.
Well, they'll be in London somewhere.
Sergeant,
look, be patient, lad, will you? Go to St. Pancras Station, and by the booking hall, you'll see a young bootblack there. His name is Dick. He's an old friend of mine. I should say a young friend. Tell him I sent you, and ask him.
He'd know?
He might not. Just ask him.
Thank you, son.
My pleasure, Mr. Marriott. Miss Bolton! Miss Bolton!
There's absolutely no need to shout, Mr. Cork. That won't do your throat any good.
My throat is much better. I feel much better altogether. What I need now is some good food to build me up.
Indeed.
And then I'd like 2 chops and some potatoes, some fried onions, and if there's room, put an egg on the top, will you?
Will that be all?
No. 2 slices of bread and butter, a big mug of hot, strong tea. Yes, I'm definitely on the mend.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it, but we'll just wait to hear what the doctor says, shall we?
What's he got to do with it?
Well, I always follow his instructions as to your diet.
But...
Now, finish your beef tea.
Oh, no.
Like a good man. It'll do you good.
Miss...
Shiny boots, Gov. You're all this way, Gov. You're the best shiny London. Yeah, about you, sir. Take the dust off the daisy roots for you. Ah, come on, Gov. A polishing and rub. Here, Mrs. Lady, bring him over here. I'll scan him up for you. What a pack of miseries. Too much blooming iron. Good time to catch a breath. Here we are, sir. Plenty of time for you, turning down shiny boots. Yeah, how about you, Gov? Can't walk around with dirty boots. The Judies won't look at you with dirty boots. I'll shine him up for a penny. That won't bust you, will it?
All right, see what you can make of that.
Nice bit of leather. You know, just for a minute I thought it was a penny top. All look and no means sport. You know what I mean? Well, I can tell by this leather you're a real gent.
Is that so, Mr. Gill?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't think there's any need to detain you further, Captain Childers. I imagine you want to get back to the...
I would prefer to stay, if you have no objection.
Oh, that's all right. For the moment, at any rate. Sit down. Now, Mr. Gill, there's one obvious question. Why did you leave the home last night? Why did you not put in an appearance this morning?
Can I make a full statement, sir?
Certainly.
My name is Henry Albert Gill.
Just a minute.
Several years ago, I was in trouble with the police in Newcastle, and I served a term of imprisonment. That was while I was in prison, I found Jesus. I was saved. And I decided to lead a decent life when I was released.
Lord, he has. You must believe him. He's given his whole heart to the Lord.
I shall be grateful if you will not interrupt, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
I've tried to atone for my sins by serving our Redeemer. There's a weakness in me, sir, which I've tried to correct, and Captain Childers here has been like a pillar of strength, sir.
Mr. Gill, last night...
I also know that the law has a very long memory and a longer arm. You see, when I saw Major Proctor lying there, I panicked. I thought with my record, I'm bound to come under suspicion, sir.
Tell me what you saw.
Well, she was lying there, sir, and I leaned over her, you see, and well, there was this brass ornament, and I picked it up, and I threw it down again. I was frightened, you see. I panicked, and I just ran. And I walked around for hours. It seemed like hours, sir, and then finally I ended up at my mother's house. And this morning, Captain Childers here, God bless her, came and persuaded me to come and tell you the truth, sir.
And this is the truth?
As the Lord is my judge.
You did not attack Major Proctor?
No, sir.
You served a term of imprisonment. For what offence?
For stealing.
But he was destitute. It was winter. He was tempted and he fell. They treated him cruelly. They sent him away for 2 years. 2 years for stealing a coat.
Did the Salvation Army know of this conviction?
No.
I did. Henry told me.
Yes?
Perhaps I should tell you, Mr. Marriott, that Henry and I have applied to General Booth for permission to marry. We have to have the consent. It's a rule of the army. I'm telling you this so that you'll understand my attitude and my confidence in Mr. Gill.
Thank you, Captain. I wish I could share your confidence. You see, Mr. Gill found Major Proctor lying there. He didn't think to send for help, to bring a doctor. He thought only of his own skin.
Oh, for no excuse, sir. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I just panicked.
Evidently. Why did you go into the study in the first place?
Well, Major Proctor was interviewing 2 of the girls. You see, these girls are the scum of the streets, and I thought I'd go and see if everything was all right.
And you found they'd gone?
Yes, sir.
But either of these 2 girls capable of attacking Major Proctor?
Capable? Oh. Well, the smaller one, Josephine Webb, she was almost capable of anything. She had a foul temper, and she hated Major Proctor. God forgive her.
Did Major Proctor have any other visitors during the time the band was playing in the street, or just before?
Yes.
You didn't admit anyone?
No, no one else. Ah, but I wasn't on duty. You see, I left Wiltshire, the second porter in charge. There was some question of a gas leak in the cellar, and I went to check.
What time was this?
Oh, about 7:30, sir.
What time did you go into the study?
About 8:15.
And you saw no one else? No one from outside the home?
No, no one, sir.
Did Major Proctor ever wear a necklace at any time?
Well, no.
No, it would be unthinkable.
Or did any of the girls?
Oh, certainly not in the home. Why?
Is this what you wanted, Mr. Marriott? It just come.
All right, Chalky, thank you.
I've told you all I know, sir. It'll be all right if I go now.
One moment, Mr. Gill.
I'm afraid it'll be necessary to detain you, Mr. Gill, pending further inquiries.
No, you can't. He's done nothing.
He's already told at least one lie.
I've told you the truth, the gospel truth.
I have your file here, Mr. Gill. It's just been sent over from Convicts Registry. Is it necessary for me to say any more?
Henry! Henry! How has he lied?
I have details of his conviction here. He didn't go to prison for 2 years for stealing a coat. He went to prison for 10 years for robbery with violence.
I don't believe...
Wife enticed a wealthy man into... You didn't know.
Well, you know now, don't you? Oh, come on.
Henry, tell me the truth now. Major Proctor...
Who's going to believe me?
I'll believe you. Did you?
No. It happened just like I said.
Come on.
respectable-looking house, Dick. Oh, but things ain't always what I seem, are they, Gav? I mean, you ought to know that. You look respectable, but you're a copper.
Yeah. What was this woman's name again?
Wilkinson, Clara Wilkinson. Of course, she's a right madam, she is. Come on, let's have a butcher's look through the windows.
Well, how's that, Avi? Better than the muck we used to dish up at the home. Told you beyond Velvet if we came here?
Yes.
Blimey, don't sit there like a dying duck in a thunderstorm, girl. Tell you this is only the beginning. We're going to eat like this every day. Have fine clothes, plenty of tomfoolery. Silk next to our skin instead of sackcloth.
Joe, I don't like it. I'm scared. Look, I could get home somehow. It ain't far to Oxford. And I still got a quid you took from the Major's cash box.
You're lucky you spent mine. You'd be daft to go home. First place they'd look for you.
This home in Pimlico where she wants us to go.
It's a club. A club. Tell you, all the tops get there. Lashing their rhino about right, left and centre. 6 months you'll have more money than you ever dreamed of.
They don't lash their money around for nothing.
No, well, you've got to play 'em along a bit.
I ain't got to that yet, Joe.
You'd rather be a common dip.
Better than being a common tart.
Blimey, you have been lapping up the old Salvation nature. Suddenly going all pure and holy.
No, I ain't got anything, but... Well, you know. What about Major Proctor?
What about her? She got what's coming to her.
She was always fair.
What's crawled into you all of a sudden? Sticking up for 'em? Listen, Vi, you think of yourself. Look after number one, that's all. I've made up my mind. I ain't gonna be poor no more. I don't care what I have to do. I ain't sleeping on bare boards and rummaging around rotten dustbins. That's done for. We ain't bad lookers, Vi. All right? That's what they want, they can have it. At our price.
Well, my dears, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, but I wanted to find the right garments to suit us, and I think I have the other very thing. Violet, my dear, you try this, and Josephine, this is for you.
Oh, it's beautiful. Ain't it beautiful, Vi?
Oh, no, not ain't, my dear, not ain't. We must mind our speech. We will be mixing with some very high-class personages, like ladies. Now here, for instance, you will notice the way we have left our knives and forks. That isn't the way at all, my dears. The proper etiquette is to place our cutlery like this, you see? Also, it is more ladylike to leave a little food on our plates. A lady never makes a hog of herself. Oh, I see we have a lot of learning to do. But we're young, there's time, and I'm a patient woman. Now let's try on the dresses.
Yeah, come here, call all off and call Stormy Whack.
What is it?
Look! Rotten luck, Gov. You missed the best bit. What are you going to do now?
I'm going in.
Yeah, I'll wait around for you. And remember what I said. Things ain't always what I seem. You follow me, Trip?
Yes, I think so.
It's a pity Corky ain't handling this himself. I know you'll make a muck of it.
Oh, yes. We're coming along very nicely. Yes, we must get our hair done proper. Lee, I should say. And then with a touch of rouge, some powder and perfume. Oh, yes, I like it. I like it. I think we'll be very popular.
Can we go to the club tonight?
Oh, bless the girl, she's anxious, isn't she? Oh, I like that, I like to see that. Oh, no, though, I must disappoint you, I'm afraid. There's shoes, stockings, oh, 1,000 things. I like to turn my young ladies up to perfection, you understand. Perfection has always been my aim in life. Violet, you're very quiet. Don't you like the dress?
Yes, it's lovely.
I expect this has all come a little quick for us, eh? We mustn't mind. We'll soon get used to it. We'll meet some very nice girls. We'll soon make friends. Some of the girls are from the home you've just left, as a matter of fact. Oh, I've had some very nice girls from there. Oh? Strange. I'm not expecting any visitors.
Could be the police.
Police? Oh, no. Why should they come here? Canonbury's a very respectable neighbourhood. And still better safe than sorry, eh? Perhaps you girls had better nip into that room. Come on, in through here. Oh! Dulcie. Please. Who is it?
Please, young fellow, Scotland Yard want to see you.
You didn't say I was home.
No, I said I'd see.
Well, tell him I'm not at home. Inspector, do please come in. Thank you, Dulcie. Come on.
Visit from the police is always welcome. Is there anything I can offer you, Inspector? A glass of sherry wine?
Not Inspector, ma'am. Constable. Detective Constable Marriott.
Oh, I see. In that case, perhaps you'll be so kind as to inform me to what I owe this intrusion to my privacy, too.
You are Mrs. Clara Wilkinson?
I am.
I'd like to see the two young ladies.
Young ladies?
Yes, the young ladies who appear to have eaten rather a good meal.
I'm afraid I don't follow your...
The young ladies who were in here a moment ago trying on dresses.
Oh, really, there's no need for melodrama. Here they are, as you see. Girls, this is a police officer.
Run for it, boy. Let me go.
After all the trouble I've been put to find you, please.
You walking rat boy.
Oh, Josephine, language, please.
Josephine, so you're Josephine Webb.
Sharp as a cutthroat, he is.
Which means that you're Violet Berry.
Yes. I wish you would tell me what this is all about.
I prefer you to tell me.
Well, I'm afraid I've no idea. These girls came to me last night seeking for shelter. I'm very well known for my charitable work for girls. Oh, you don't mean to say...
I'm afraid so.
Oh, I'm shocked. Shocked beyond measure at their deceit. They seem such nice young ladies.
Now, every drop, it'll do you good.
Have you got the treacle toffee handy?
Yes, here it is. Never known such a baby.
Oh, why do they make medicine so bitter?
Sergeant, Stone.
Oh, no.
I hope you haven't come to disturb us, Sergeant. I was just letting him down for the night.
Well, if I could just have a couple of minutes with him.
Well, I wanted to have a full night's sleep.
Look, I wish you wouldn't talk about me as I wasn't here. Come in, Marriott.
I'll give you 5 minutes, that's all.
Thank you.
That woman, she takes all the pleasure out of being sick. You haven't come here to eat my fruit. What's the matter with you? Haven't you been able to find those girls?
Oh, no, picked them up this evening.
Did the bootblack give you a lead?
Yeah, she took me straight there, straight to the house. He's quite a character. He told me you put him on the straight and narrow.
Oh, he's got a very fertile imagination. He's about as straight and narrow as a round table. That's right, don't worry, he wouldn't touch you. So now you've got the girls, you've got Gil. Who did it? Who attacked Major Proctor? By the way, where did you find these girls?
Oh, a very respectable house in Canterbury. Strange place. Strange woman lives there, a Mrs. Wilkinson, Clara Wilkinson.
Wilkinson, it's a new one. And what's she like?
Oh, a fine woman, florid, loaded with rings and bangles, jangled like sleigh bells every time she moved. I checked when I got back. There's nothing known about her. She said the girls turned up last night seeking help. She specializes in assistance to delinquent females. And she's even on the list of those people who make donations to the Salvation Army home in Streatham. She thinks the girls may have got her address from there.
Well, that seems quite straightforward. Why did you say she was strange?
Oh, I don't know. The look of her, for a start. And then when I asked to see the girls, she hedged. They were hiding in the room next door, and there was a door concealed as a sort of bookcase, a sort of cabinet. And they were hiding in there.
Do you mean to say she was actually hiding them?
I don't know. I thought so at first, but she said that was ridiculous. She said she'd sent them in there to rest, and I can't prove otherwise.
Well, lad, you've had a very busy day, haven't you? It hasn't finished yet, has it? Well, have you decided who attacked Major Proctor? Was it Gil the Porter, or was it two girls?
They all deny having anything to do with it.
To be expected, but do you believe them?
I honestly don't know. And Major Proctor is still too ill to be any use to it.
What about the amber beads and the fourth visitor?
Nobody mentioned a fourth visitor. Mind you, there were French windows leading out of the office into the garden. Now, she could have admitted a personal visitor through there.
Oh. Well, go on, that. Now that you've fingered that toffee, you might as well eat it.
Yeah, thank you. If only we had something to connect somebody with that brass candlestick. That would answer it.
Candlestick. Look, come here, lad. I might be able to help you. Now, let's go over this story again. Fingerprints. And that's the one to concentrate on. Yeah.
Police again. Oh, no, at this time of night, tell them I've gone to bed. I did, but they told me to wake you.
Oh, really? Oh, well, you better show me in. Really, Mr. Marriott, are you aware of the hour?
I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Wilkinson. This is Sergeant Jones.
Indeed. Well, I'm very tired. I would ask you to be brief.
We are not entirely satisfied with your explanation as to why the two girls came here, Mrs. Wilkinson.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to remain dissatisfied. I have no other explanation.
We cannot understand why you did not check their story.
That is, no past questions that don't come.
But you said you were shocked to find them absconded.
I was shocked to find the girls had deceived me.
You are on the list of subscribers to the funds of the Streatham Home for Girls.
I'm on so many lists.
Did you know Major Proctor, who was in charge of the home?
Major Proctor? Oh, I believe I did meet her once briefly. I was very upset to hear of her dreadful injuries.
Oh, the girls told you about them.
Of course not. I've already said I didn't know the girls had come from the home. No, I heard it at a committee meeting this afternoon.
Do you recognize these, ma'am?
What are they? Amber beads. Oh, rather cheap, aren't they? No, I don't recognize them.
Then do you recognize this?
I've never seen that before.
Didn't you see it in Major Proctor's office?
To the best of my knowledge and belief, I've never been in Major Proctor's office.
Would you be so kind as allow us to take your fingerprints, ma'am?
Fingerprints?
It's a new system with which we are experimenting. You see, no two fingerprints are entirely the same. It gives us a positive means of identification.
But why should you want my fingerprints?
Well, there are a number of fingerprints on that candlestick. Whoever assaulted Major Proctor last night left their identification mark behind. On that.
Last night? I've already said I was nowhere near the home last night.
Then you've nothing to worry about, have you? Your fingerprints won't be on the candlestick. But can we just make sure?
No!
Well, in that case, we shall be forced
But
to...
this is ridiculous. How could my fingerprints be on there when I was wearing gloves? I mean, I always swear.
All right, Bob. I think you'd better come along with us, ma'am.
Oh, you tricked me. You rotten, stinking Rosa, you tricked me. I shall deny it. I shall stand up in court and deny it, you dirty twist.
No, enough.
You shouldn't have done that, you know. You're not wearing gloves. Your fingerprints will be all over it.
Morning, Choky.
Well, bless my soul, if it isn't Sergeant Cork himself. Back in the land of the living, eh?
Only just, Choky, only just. I'm very weak. I was forced to leave my bed. I shall need lashings of hot tea at regular intervals.
Yes.
Look, who's been mucking about with my desk here?
No, it wasn't me. I told them not to touch anything.
Merritt, look, have you been sitting behind there rearranging everything?
Not guilty.
Look, I don't believe you.
Check my fingerprints, if you like.
Oh, fingerprints. Do you settle that business?
Worked like a dream.
Oh, it was the woman, was it?
Yes.
What was she doing, procuring?
Yes, she ran a house of so-called pleasure in Pimlico, catered to very high-class clients, kept a constant stream of new young girls. Major Proctor found out what she was doing and was going to expose her.
So she decided to knock her on the head. I think you've done very well, considering your natural aptitude to blunder.
Why do you think it might be her?
Well, why do you think Dick took her to that house? He obviously knew something about her. She wasn't as respectable as she made out. We know she made donations to the Streatham Salvation Army Girls' Home. That was just a connection, but I'll work it out for yourself, boy. Incidentally, you're very late, you know that.
I'm sorry. I had to go to the hospital to inquire about Major Proctor. They say there's a good chance she'll recover.
I'm very glad to hear it. Because you haven't inquired about my health.
You haven't given me a chance. How are you, sir?
Me? Very weak. Very weak. But I take things very, very easily. I only came out to get away from that dragon. Oh, look, tea, I told you, some tea at regular intervals.
Blimey, there ain't very much wrong with you, Sergeant.
Look, Merrick, come here, look, I want to tell you. This has been forged silver coins.